So this is the beginning of our trip in Porto, Portugal. We left Dulles Airport on a Thursday evening and flew the red eye, if you will. So you always arrive early in the morning. And so we arrived in Madrid, and then from Madrid we took a Europe Air over to Porto, and we stayed at the Villa Foz hotel, which was right on the water. It is a beautiful hotel overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, and it was on a Thursday night, and folks were coming in for the weekend, so we were able to um, be put into a room that was way high up and had a tremendous view out onto the ocean. So we really were just taking a relaxing afternoon or day because it didn't take us too long to get there. I think we got in about 3 o'clock, walked out on the beach. So we're here on the beaches just outside of Porto in front of our hotel. And it was the Villa Foz. And we're just sitting on the rocks. And we got some people over here that are enjoying the sun. There's one guy over there, two guys over there scuba diving. And way over here on this end, that's where right there's some event area. We're going to walk down there, and the cruise ships come in and out of this little port. And then as we turn this way, and we look south, which you can't really see because I'm way down low, but that's where the Douro River entry is. And so we're about halfway between the Douro River and the entry for the cruise ships over here. We're just having a nice time. With the weather being a little bit chillier, it wasn't really swimming weather, so we took a walk north on the beach, and we were trying to make our way all the way to that event center. Along the way, we stopped at this fort, paid €5 to go in and walk through the fort that protected the city of Porto.
Beautiful.
It was relatively uncrowded, so we spent a little bit of time there, sat on the beach, and then turned around and walked back to where the Villa Foz was. Here we are with the hotel Villa Foz behind us, somewhere up there, and there's a crane they're building right next door to the Villa Foz. And we're just sitting here with a bunch of folks on the beach. We're on the rocks, looking out over the Atlantic Ocean. Water temperature is 59. Air temperature is probably about 70. So it's comfortable, not very much of a breeze, and just relaxing. From here we drive up to Vigo and stay at the in Bayona at the Hotel Parador. And we walked down to the Douro River, and that was a tour just getting started, and I think that walk was probably about 2.5 miles we were looking for just a place we could sit in a restaurant by the water, but we couldn't find it, so looked like we had to walk a little further up a river in the Douro Valley to get something that we could sit. So instead, when we came back walking along, there were a few restaurants, which this is one that we stopped right along the beach. Windy, music playing, fun environment.
Did you get it?
At the end of the day, the hotel has a Michelin star restaurant, and they also have an a la carte restaurant section. So we went to the a la carte restaurant section and sat outside. Now, perfect. And we ordered a couple of drinks and some French fries, as you can see there. There was a beef that I had,
sliced tender beef, and Lynn had a paella mix. It was more of a Portuguese paella. This was all provided by the junior chef who was in training with the Michelin chef, and he prepared the food, brought it out to us, and talked to us a little bit about the food preparation. And that was all for €100, so very, very reasonable. The next morning, we had breakfast right there at the hotel. And then we had a couple of errands we wanted to run while we were in Porto. One of was to see a childhood home when I was there as a really, really small child. We couldn't find it. It might have been torn down. So alternatively, then we looked for this famous Portuguese sandwich, the francesinhas, and I'm not pronouncing that correctly. We did not make it to this restaurant because it was a little bit too far to go. Another alternative that we looked at was to go to this historic bookstore. You do have to purchase tickets and then stand in line, so we decided we just wouldn't wait for that. And then ultimately, we looked for a market to go look at what was available to purchase in terms of fresh produce. And in the end, we went to this one, this Mercado Bom Sucesso. And that was in the middle of the workday, so there were people there eating lunch, and so we grabbed lunch as well. Some fried food, some fried fish, and some beef, and I got these little empanada-looking things. And then after that, we started our journey north to Bayona. This was one of the streets that we drove through. I'd made a wrong turn. I ended up in this tiny, tiny, thin alley, which we made it through, of course. And then we started our journey northward for our very first wine region, the Rías Baixas region up in Galicia, a few hours north of Porto.